Here comes another brand new Iowa poll, and this one is different. It's different from the Fox News poll of yesterday. This new one shows Donald Trump and Senator Ted Cruz now neck and neck in Iowa. The new Quinnipiac University poll of likely Republican Iowa caucus goers finding Donald Trump in first place with 31%, but Senator Cruz hot on his heels with 29%. Now, that's a 2% difference, and that is well within the margin of error. Senator Marco Rubio, the only other candidate in double digits, is way down with 13%. That's 18 points behind Donald Trump. The on-the-record political panel is here from the Daily Beast, BETSY Woodruff, and ABC News political director Rick Klein. Rick, what state are you from? I want to know your values.
New York.
Okay, just want to get that straight. All right. Before we get to these polls, and I'm going to find out where you're from too, BETSY, so get ready with that answer. The elephant in the room. Let me just ask the question, and I'm going to get out of this food fight. Is Donald Trump going to be in the debate Thursday night?
The elephant not in the room, maybe. This feels like part of the show. He has said this consistently. He may not show up unless he gets a donation to a charity. He wants to make sure that he's treated fairly. We've heard this consistently. It's hard for me to imagine the front runner in Iowa, the front runner nationally, not showing up to a nationally televised debate, just 4 days before the voting starts. That seems like a huge risk, frankly, that I don't think he as a businessman would do. That said, the way he boxes himself in on this right now, it would be interesting to see how he gets it out. My presumption would be he shows up at the debate, he shows that he can take tough questioning, and he's the center of the action as always.
Okay, BETSY, what state are you from? I want to know your values.
Originally Missouri, moved to Northern Virginia when I was 8, so
okay.
half and half.
I know your values. Anyway, let me ask you the question before we move on. Donald Trump, will he be there Thursday night?
I think he does whatever his Twitter followers say. He has a poll up on his Twitter right now. 52% vote yes, they want him in the debate. 48% say no. Only 35,000 people have voted, so it's up in the air, neck and neck horse race. I think, honestly, he hasn't made up his mind, and if Twitter overwhelmingly goes one way or the other, I think that's what he's going to do. Okay, are these polls, I mean, can we rely on any of these polls? Because now they're neck and neck in Iowa in the Quinnipiac poll, for those of us who learned to pronounce that word. And yesterday, though, in the Fox News poll, Donald Trump was 11 points ahead of Ted Cruz. Now they're neck and neck. So that's between yesterday and today, essentially. Who knows? We don't know what's going on, and also, to be honest, Iowa caucus goers probably don't know what's going on. A lot of these folks don't decide who to vote for until a week or two before. Many of them still probably haven't made up their minds just right now. So I know this is a cliche, but it actually does come down to ground game. We know Ted Cruz's ground game is formidable. He's had 800 people from outside Iowa move in, live in dorms, go door to door. Look, the polls are really confusing, but I think if you look at the organization, it looks good for Cruz.
I talked to someone in Iowa involved with Republican Party politics. Says that the party is getting calls every day from first-time caucus goers, Democrats, many of them, changing their party registration.
To Republican?
To Republican, and a lot of them are saying, I'm doing this for Trump. I'm doing this because I want to vote for Trump. Now, do they caucus for Trump? That's going to be the big question. Both sides of the aisle, no one really knows who is going to show up, what that universe of voters look like. You have a split among conservatives. You have an establishment that's conflicted. All of these dynamics adding up to a late night, perhaps, on Monday. But you're right. We don't really know what the polls show other than that it's very close and that Trump seemed to stop any of the bleeding that he had earlier on, stop Ted Cruz's momentum.
Well, it certainly is interesting. The two different polls showing very different numbers 2 days in a row.